Hey guys, Josh here. I'm going to do a review of Dungeon Alliance. I did an unboxing of this the other day, so I'm going to go ahead and review it. I got a chance to get it on the table last night. I just did a solo play variant. So overall, the game is very good. So startup time takes a little while because there's a lot of components. There's different levels to the dungeon tiles that you have to set up, and depending on how many players, you put different XP and different bowls in which you got to collect. There's a lot of cards. They have different cards that you have to go through and set up, and it takes a lot of room too. So just playing the solo variant, I played on just to play it on the mat type. I played on an X-Wing battle map, which is a 3x3 mat, and it took every bit of that mat just to set up. The grid for the game itself, for setting up the tiles, it was okay. I didn't like that it just notches into each other, so it doesn't really have a locking interface to it. So if you slide, because I set it up first, and then as I had to make areas for me to put other items in, I had to keep sliding it. Well, one of the templates is a little bit bent, so it didn't line up correctly. So if I push it, it'd go underneath it, and I had to keep adjusting it. There are a lot of tokens to keep track of, so I used these to some of the more common tokens that I was having to grab a lot. I used some little bins to hold them in. The rules are pretty straightforward. They're pretty easy to understand, and once you get going, the game itself only goes through 4 rounds, which a round consists of activating each of your heroes, and then activating the monsters in turn after that. It does have a, since if you're playing solo or competitive, it has a deck of cards that tells you how to move the monsters and make the monsters attack, which at first I was forgetting a couple of steps that the monsters had to do, because the monsters have text on their cards as well. And the layout, when you lay out all the monsters, it takes a lot of area as well, because there's a lot of monsters to set up as far as their cards, and their tokens come out whenever the tiles come out. So there's 3 levels of tiles, 3 levels of monsters, 3 levels of upgrade cards as well. So storage for this game I didn't really like. I took out the initial insert. I'm using this for the cards right now, but this does not close because the card separators that they provide are a little tall for that, so I'm going to have to cut off the top of this. But this is a Star Wars Destiny one. I'll probably get something else for that, for the cards. They do provide a lot of baggies for a lot of the tokens. So, and there's some extra ones too. So that's good. The painted minis, they came in this. I'm just going to probably keep them in this foam. The rest of the minis came in a bigger box that didn't really fit back in here with everything else in it, so I kind of ditched the holders that were in them and dumped all my unpainted minis in this box for now. I don't know what I'm going to plan to do with those, because I've got a full set of painted minis. The game itself, the gameplay is pretty good. It's deck building, but you don't really build your deck too fast, but your deck starts out with pretty good cards, because based on your characters each have their own individual 3 cards each. So you start out with four heroes. Each character has 3 cards, so your deck starts with 12, and you draw 6 so at the beginning of the game. So you kind of look at your hand and decide who you're going to activate first and what they want to do. And as you kill monsters and gain XP, you purchase cards with your XP. First level cards are usually cost 1 or 2, so you don't have to kill too many monsters to get those. And your first level dungeon tiles, they have a lot of goblins and giant spiders that come out that you have to kill, that only give you like 1 XP, but they're not that hard to kill. Gameplay itself was pretty good. The movement was pretty easy to figure out. You spend speed points to move, and you also have to spend speed points to open doors, unlock doors, and so that piece of it is pretty cool as far as a dungeon crawler type game and an adventure game. The attacking, you can use it, just the general attack on your hero's card, or there's cards to help you attack, and you play those cards. And some cards have effect through the rest of the round, so it can help some of your other guys that are gonna activate later. And as you go, you get your hand size gets to increase as you draft more cards, so that's pretty cool. You get to have a lot of cards in your hand, more options to activate different heroes. The heroes are pretty good. It came with the original, I think 17, or 17, or yeah, 17, and then the Champions Pack added up to 21. So you have 21 total heroes now. They're pretty good. There's pretty good variety. I like the drafting aspect of it. So with the solo game, you kind of shuffle up all the heroes. You draw 2, and you select one of those 2, and you keep going until you have 4 heroes. So that was pretty good because I got to, get to fiddle around with different types of heroes in every game. You can set up a different team, so that's a pretty good aspect of it. Overall, the game was really good. I liked the game. I think with more people, it'll be a little bit better because the other people get to control the monsters I would get to control monsters against them. So you're kind of, if you're playing competitive mode. Now if you're playing cooperative, you still have the cooperative deck that tells you exactly how to move the monsters. But if you're playing competitive, then that other person, once they start moving the monsters, they can attack you with whatever monsters they want, as long as that monster is able to activate. So it seems pretty cool. It was a long game, but I don't know if it was just my first time playing it. It usually adds quite a bit of time in the learning. I had to reference the rule book quite a few times just to clarify what I was doing. So you play the game over 4 rounds with each character activating once. So there isn't a round tracker, so I was kind of having to keep thinking of what round I was on at the time. So I didn't it's no big deal to have a round tracker. Put a dice out and count down on your rounds. The instructions, the rule books is pretty clear. It's pretty well laid out. I would have liked more of a reference in the back for some of the quick reference stuff, because I kept thumbing through a lot of the rule book to get some clarifications on stuff. But other than that, it was pretty good. So overall, it has good deck building, not real fast deck building, but you still get to build your deck a little bit. And it's an adventure as well. One of my guys, he was pretty weak. He was pretty squishy, and he died. I had to revive him a couple times, but he was still, it was still cool that you got to have 3 guys, three guys, and then another guy would come and heal him, and he would get back up. So it was pretty cool. But overall grade out of 5 stars, I give this one about 3.5. Setup time is really long. I don't know how gameplay would be with 4 people, how long it would take, because you are activating. Each of you has 4 characters. You're actually playing like 16 characters with 4 players, but you're only playing over 4 rounds. So I want to try it with 2 or 3 or maybe 4 players and see how it goes. But other than that, it's a good game. So I give it an overall score of 3.5 stars. Thank you. Bye.